Welcome to the Moscow FIDE Grand Prix, where two titans clash, Jan-Christoph Duda versus Wesley So. Duda opens with pawn to e4, So mirrors with e5, and we quickly enter the classical Giuoco piano. Both players develop their pieces to natural squares, building a solid foundation for the middle game battle to come. Both kings are castled to safety, and the real fight begins as So strikes in the center with pawn to d5. White accepts the challenge, and after a quick exchange of pieces, the position remains tense and balanced. Duda completes his development, bringing a rook to e1 and knight to d2, patiently adding pressure to the central files, and here, Wesley, So has a key decision to make, but he chooses a quiet move that lets the advantage slip. The stronger try was knight to b6, challenging White's control. After pawn to h3, the bishop retreats to h5. Then White's knight jumps to e4, and Black's knight takes the bishop on c4, keeping the balance. But in the actual game, Black's king simply steps aside to h8, and this small inaccuracy gives Duda the opening he needs. Duda immediately capitalizes. He methodically repositions his knights, first with knight to e4 and then knight to g3, skillfully building a dangerous attack on the king side as Black's bishop shuffles around. And there it is, a brilliant sacrifice. The knight crashes into e5. Duda shatters the center, removing a key defender and prying open lines for his heavy pieces. An absolutely stunning move. So has no choice. He is forced to recapture, and the knight takes the knight back on e5, but now White's attack is just getting started, and this is the perfect follow-up. White's rook takes the knight on e5, the only move that keeps the advantage. The plan is clear. Queen to f3 is next, and Black's position is starting to crumble. Black tries to untangle by challenging White's bishop, but Duda simply improves his queen to f3 and brings his own bishop to f4, relentlessly tightening the screws. Another brilliant move from Duda. Rook to e1 is a fantastic quiet move. Instead of trading, he sidesteps, keeping all the attacking potential, defending his back rank, and preparing to swing this rook into the fight. So decides to trade pieces, and his knight takes the bishop on c4, hoping to relieve some of the pressure. But Duda's recapture is perfect. The pawn takes the knight on c4, the only move that maintains the advantage. This opens the d-file and keeps Black's remaining pieces completely tied down. Black's queen makes a desperate-looking trip out to h4, but White's knight calmly drops back to e2, easily sidestepping any threats. Black is under immense pressure, and here makes another inaccurate move. There was a much better defensive resource. The correct idea was rook to e8, fighting for the open file. After bishop takes bishop on b8, the rook recaptures on b8. White's queen shifts to f4, but Black can hold with queen to e7. Back in the real game, though, Wesley So plays his bishop out to a7, and this misstep allows Duda to dial up the pressure even more. And Duda's technique is flawless. He restricts Black's pieces, repositions his own, and then rams the pawn forward to c5, creating a deadly passed pawn threat that paralyzes Black's position. And that is the final mistake. Black's bishop moves to b3, but this is the wrong square entirely. This allows for a crushing rook lift, and Duda now has a forced win. And there it is, the killer blow. The rook lifts to a3, and with unstoppable threats along the third rank, the game is over. What a shot! An absolutely brilliant attacking masterpiece from Duda, full of precise sacrifices and flawless technique. Wesley So resigns, and White wins.